when you talk about little things, those little acts of kindness that don't require massive amounts of effort, a simple text of how are you doing, and then listening. Like not taking fine for an answer is a start. Like if you feel like you have the bandwidth to listen, then, schedule a call because sometimes those calls don't happen easily right then in that moment. So schedule a call and say, I just want to hear how you're doing. That's a beginning step. Um, so yes, it is about taking care of yourself, but it is about how do we take care of each other. And here's the other thing. I remember a senior spouse giving some wisdom and mentoring. They said one time, they told this story about how they were taking a casserole to a family in need, and their child was in the back, and they were going with them to deliver this casserole. And she had not had a chance to make dinner, and so she went through the drive-through and ordered McDonald's for everybody in the car, her and her kids. And on the way to deliver this casserole, her daughter said, "Hey, mom, can we have a casserole someday?" Right? And she said in that one moment, she realized that she had been giving her best to other people before giving to her own home and her own family. And she had kind of guilted herself into, why was I making another family a casserole and taking and I'm not saying this is like if we're having isolated incidents, it's not a big deal, right? Like I also had another mentoring spouse that told me there are some seasons that giving your kids Cheerios for dinner is plenty. Is she said from that point forward, anytime I was asked to volunteer or help, I gave myself 24 hours before saying yes. And I asked myself, do I have the ability to make that casserole for that family? And so sometimes it doesn't take making a big casserole. Sometimes it doesn't take some huge effort. It can take something small that you do have the ability to do, checking on that person, sending a text message, writing a card, something that takes 30 seconds instead of 2 hours, right? So when we have the opportunity to take care of each other, some of you guys are saying, I'm so exhausted right now, I'm barely taking care of myself. Then it's not your season to over volunteer. It's okay for you to take a season and just be a sponge and let other people serve you. But that requires your ability to ask for help, right? So sometimes it starts there, and learning to ask for help. And I guarantee you 3 months from now, you're going to be that mentoring spouse that's telling someone else, hey, let's just start with asking for help. I've been there and that's enough. So it's really just evaluating what season you're in and evaluating what kind of energy and ability do you have to give back and deciding to not overdo it. It's the small things.